I am honored to have an opportunity to interview this mom, super mom in my eyes, mom to 6 daughters, 4 sons. And yes, I asked her, are they biological children? And she assured me, yes, she gave birth to every single one of these 10 children. Amelia Mora Mars, thank you so much for being here with me. Psychotherapist, mom coach to women, and was raised. I'm glad you're vulnerable and you said you were raised by an emotionally unavailable mother. What does that mean? How do you empower women to break this cycle, heal their heart, right? And reclaim their lives when they might not even know that they are emotionally unavailable. So if you had like a checklist and, I was a mom thinking, am I emotionally unavailable? What does that mean? And before you start, can you tell us the ages of your children?
Okay, trick question. Let's see. 30, 28, 27, 27, 26. Those are 5 girls. And then I took a little 3-year break. And then I have 23, 21, 19, 17, and 15.
Wow, just remembering those ages. I have parents who are like, wait a minute, when's your birthday? And they just have 3 kids, to know the ages. Well, so you had all your girls first, and then you had your boys.
Yes, so I had 2 boys and a girl and 2 boys. So she's the only girl with the older brothers, and she loves having older brothers.
Wow. And what made you decide to pursue this journey of empowering women who were raised by, emotionally unavailable? What does that even mean? Can you define that first?
Sure. So it looks like a lot of different things. Like in my case, it was a mom with mental illness. It could be a mom with a physical illness, and not that she wants to not be there, but perhaps she just is in so much pain and just can't take care of children like another healthier mom would. It could be a mom that is so focused on keeping her husband calm if he's an alcoholic, or if she's so focused on keeping herself and everybody safe that she's not really there for her children. It could be a mom that's a single mom and she just has to work so much. And so she's just busy, tired, sleeping. So some of it is, and then a lot of it could be that she wasn't raised with it, so there's different components. Some could be intentional, and a lot of it really isn't. It's just circumstances in life, and you're just trying to do the best you can, but it ends up leaving a child having to raise themselves to a certain extent. And that makes it very difficult for the child to, instead of relying on the parent and the parent helping them to manage their emotions, they're left to figure things out on their own.
So how did you do that? I mean, how old were you when you realized, you know what, I have to do this on my own? I've had like one of my daughter's karate classmates. She was 5. Her mother was in the military, right? Had to leave the house at 6, so she had to make her cereal and get ready for school. And I just thought, wow, and then I felt like I was enabling my daughter because I was doing the breakfast thing. And then you're confused. I don't want to enable, but I don't want to not do the right thing. How old were you when you realized you have to do this on your own?
My mom was very good at cooking and cleaning, those kinds
Okay.
of things. Although we had to help clean a lot because that was one of her greatest triggers, was if things
Mm.
were disordered, then she would just lose it. So she struggled with anxiety, depression, and mood. So, and hitting us. So we were very afraid of her. And even though I'm not the oldest, I'm the second, I took that firstborn role. And my job became, I used, I guess, my creativity and resourcefulness to think, okay, my mom gets really angry when she can't sleep, when there's noise, or when there's a messy house. So I would organize my siblings to, like, okay, you clean the kitchen, I'll take the bathroom, and I would put music on to make it kind of a game for
Wow.
us. And that's what I would do. I just
How
would
many
do whatever
siblings,
it
can I
would
ask?
take to keep. We were 4. There's a 4 of us, but we were 3 girls and had a brother way later. So his life experience was very different than ours. Yeah. So just to kind of give you context, so my grandmother Amelia, she gave birth to 18 children, and 6 passed away. 6 died at various ages. So my parents are from Costa Rica. Yes, my parents are from Costa Rica, and my grandmother wanted to be a nun. And she had always dreamed of serving God and serving her community, but her father told her at the age of 17, no, you're going to get married, and I have someone picked out for you who is twice her age. So how terrifying that is to be a 17-year-old to marry a 34-year-old. She never wanted to be a wife, and she never wanted to be a mother. And as my aunts and uncles tell me, that she had a furious temper, and they were very much afraid of her. So my mom was raised by a woman who didn't want to be a mom. You know, my mom was number 9 out of the surviving 12. And my mom was responsible for cleaning, you know, making everybody's beds and scrubbing the floors and things like that. So my mom was a doer, and I learned to be a doer. One of the things my mom would say is, if I was sitting down, she'd say, "What do you think you are, a millionaire? Or what do you think you are, a decoration?" And so I learned, don't just sit around, you're valuable when you're doing. And so I had to learn how to be a person. So yeah, it's generational. I hope I painted a picture of
Mm-hmm,
what
mm-hmm.
my grandmother was like. And she had a very passive mom and an alcoholic father. So it's just these generations that pass on. And, you know, unless we choose to break the cycle, they continue on.
Can you give us suggestions on how to break the cycle?
I think, you know, first of all, you have to be aware. And what I tell women is that, you know, we all stand on the bridge of the past, of how we were raised, and the future. And only we have that privilege and that responsibility to break the cycle in the present. And so I, you know, it always comes with awareness first, and just being aware that, okay, something's amiss. And I felt lost growing up. I'm a people pleaser. I was thinking about this one woman who, at a very young age, she learned to make a martini for her mother. When her mom walked in the door, she's a little girl, and she made a martini. That is not age appropriate, you know, but you do what you need to do to be noticed and to get some sense of approval, but then that becomes our life, you know. So it's just
Mm-hmm.
acknowledging, do I feel lost? Do I feel like I'm people pleasing? Do I feel like I have a voice? Am I seen? Am I allowed? Do I feel like I'm allowed to live my life? Do I live in a one up, one down relationship? Or is it equal? Am I always looking for that approval and feeling less than? You know, and a lot of women, it's like, when's my time? I give and I give and I give, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
exhausted. And what about me? What about me? And unless she turns all the love and attention to herself, she's going to do what's been done to her.
It's like a
Right.
default. You just do what
Yeah.
you've
Right.
always only
There's
known.
a sense of emptiness,
Mm-hmm.
and they love their children, but they still feel like, what about me? I still feel lost. And I still have a difficulty trusting relationships, or I still have difficulty just even being myself. And that's where the work begins.
How do women during the pandemic, especially? I know a lot of women are working, even though it might be remotely, some physical locations, and they still have their children at home. So I notice a lot of moms are losing their temper without wanting to, because they have to multitask, working virtually, making sure that each child is on their, in their learning station, and then washing the clothes, making sure that, laundry's, food is being served, or that the refrigerator is stocked. And then there is a lack of, where's my time? I mean, do you have like little suggestions on how to create little time, personal time, so that they do replenish or take care of themselves?
I always think of in terms of 5 minutes, really, because
Mm,
sometimes you just have 5 minutes, right, to do things. So whether it's, you know, whether it's physical, like I'll do 5 minutes of squats, or if I'm in the bathroom, I'll do 5 minutes of push-ups on the counter, or just a few minutes of affirmations, or even starting the morning focusing on yourself. When my children were really little, I would wake up at 5:30 in the morning and go for a walk. before my husband got up, before anybody got up. It's just that prioritizing yourself, speaking kindly to yourself. I think that's so
Mm-hmm.
important. It's just writing out those affirmations ahead of time and just focusing on them. Somebody told me yesterday about one of my clients about an app called, I think I Am, something like that. So it just has, just different I am affirming type things. I'm worthy. And writing those, I stick mine on my mirror. I
Mm-hmm.
ask myself every morning, how can I grow today?
How can I
How
grow
can
today? I love that.
how can I give? How can I circulate love and compassion, not just to others, but to myself? So having little rituals, but keeping them really short, because we don't want to be then, chastising ourselves for not doing things. So just picking a few little
Mm-hmm.
things, just a short little snacks, love snacks to
I
yourself.
love that. Love snacks.
And then just thinking about them through the day, and it helps when you attach it to something you already do. Like, for example, if you drink coffee every day, do 5 squats or something, or say your affirmations right there when you're brushing your teeth, thinking about what you're grateful for. So attaching it to something that you naturally do, that's such a habit anyway, helps us to
So
remember.
it becomes a routine, part of your routine.
Right, exactly.
Is there a way that you teach women to empower their daughters? I notice my 18-year-old is constantly self-critical, very self-critical. I'm not going to pass my road test. I'm not going to fill in the blank. And even though I feel like I'm trying to, she, knocks me down. No, no, no. And then I'm finally realizing, my friend said, she's going to have to get it on her own. You can try, but any suggestions? Because I know a lot of us with daughters, we want to empower them. And it hurts me when I see her criticize herself. But then, of course, I'm probably criticizing myself. I mean, how do you teach that when one of your, I guess, missions, right, is to empower women to break the cycle? When you see that in your daughters, I mean, you have 6 of them. How do you train that female brain that's hormonal and not sometimes willing to accept your words of advice as a mother?
So first of all, I would start with just being that yourself, believing in
Yes.
yourself, right? You can't give what you don't possess. It sounds empty if I'm not doing it. And honey, you got to love yourself. You got to be kind. So I need to embody it to be able to teach it. But the reality is, with my 6 daughters, their temperaments are very different. And some people are just more, the glass is half empty or half full.
Yes.
So I have my oldest daughter struggles with bipolar disorder. And so for her, that's, she has a lot of noise going on in her head at times. So for her, it's harder. So helping her with those rituals and making sure that she's sleeping and all those things that are so important to help manage her triggers. I have a daughter right now who's at the Sheriff Academy. And they had, out of 37, 32 of them had tested positive for coronavirus. So they had to shut it down. And so they had to shut it down for 2 weeks. And so their bodies were exhausted and they had headaches. And they knew when they came back that they were going to have to perform physically and that they had tests and things that they missed. And she was so worried. She was just like, forget the word she used, terrified, I think it was. I'm terrified. And I said to her, just as you can use your brain to think about the negative, the what if this, what if this, what if
Mm-hmm,
that,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
your brain to think positive. So I just typed up some affirmations for her and text them to her. And she just was, she said, thank you. So, but that's the thing. It's whether they believe it, whether they do it, that we can't help them with, but at least
Right.
we're providing them for it. I told her, we'll be praying for you. We're here to support you. Anything we could do. I was sending her vitamins, anything I could do to help her, because it's
That's
rough.
intense.
Yeah.
So you have like if you had like a box of tricks and tips, what would you suggest a mother can start today? I mean, I love the affirmations and doing the 5-minute love snacks. Is there something that we can incorporate in our day? You know, another 5-minute routine tip, or maybe a mental mindset when things are, you know, we feel like I can't do this anymore. We all have those days where I just can't. Any
Well,
particular?
I think her having her own support system, because otherwise we burden our children, right? And we don't want to burden our children with our stuff.
Yes.
So, whether it's a supportive husband or friends or therapist or tribe or anybody that we can go to that are going to understand how stressed out and how overwhelmed we are. We just can't do it by ourselves. It's like having a car that runs out of gas. Well, someone has to go get the gas and someone has to pour in the gas. So who's filling up your tank? Again, with the women that I serve, they give, overwhelmed or depleted or burnt out. Well, who's giving to you? And we need to be putting that in, not just with, working out and meditation and a cup of tea and everything, but also with relationships. We were not created to live our life alone, and we need to be connected. And I always say that connected moms make better moms, because
Definitely.
it's ebb and flow. Just always,
Right, right. So what about the single mom who feels that they don't have time? I get this. You know, I'm a single mom. I have 3 kids. I work, I come home, I clean, and then help the kids, put them to bed, repeat. And they don't see the importance maybe of connecting, or they don't know who to connect because it's like they are alone on their island. And I don't know if they're introverted or they just don't know how to connect to a tribe. Is there a way, if you are alone
yeah.
with,
So I do have clients who are single moms or even teenage girls. I often will suggest a podcast. I mean, because we're listening to something,
yes,
whether it's music or whether it's TV. I'm just not a TV person. I read a lot of books and I'll do podcasts because I want the input coming in to be very positive and specific and working on the area that I need the most. So even if I'm not seeing a tribe, but at least to be connected to a podcast that's just really positive, Brene Brown, or
I was
someone
going to
that's,
just say her name. Yes.
yeah, just that talks about wholeheartedness and imperfection and forgiveness and being brave and courageous, all those things that we open our heart to be fed in
Hmm,
those ways.
hmm, hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Cause
So
I just realized it right now. It could just be a podcast and it could just be you. It's a one-sided conversation, but makes you feel connected. And
it
it
makes
sounds like, yeah, is that what it is? Just feeling connected without having a live interaction. It'll still feed your soul. Is that what you're
it'd
saying?
be wonderful to have someone to talk to about that.
Hmm,
But like
hmm.
if your time is in the car or doing laundry, whatever, why not be listening to things that are really positive and affirming?
Do you listen to something before you go to sleep?
Not typically. I start off my day. I always think of meditation kind of like an inner shower,
Hmm,
kind
hmm.
of prayer, that kind of thing. Um, just kind of cleansing my heart and prioritizing my thoughts and moving through intentionality. I don't usually end the day that way, but for some women, that's wonderful. Or even music.
Hmm,
Anything
hmm.
will kind of calm her heart down.
Do you journal?
I don't journal. Well, actually, when I'm taking courses, which I'm always taking kind of self courses, I do have my leather binder right here that is full of my thoughts and things that I'm working on.
Wow. Do you encourage your moms to, like write, or sometimes it's just purging too, just like, otherwise it's like it's in your soul and you can't
It
get rid of
is
it.
for some women that's like a burden, like it's like a necessity
True, true.
to do.
Yeah.
But if they like to do that, if that's helpful for them, that's a great way to write things down and to take a look at what you're feeling and to
Any
that.
closing suggestions on one way we can empower ourselves in the next week or two to incorporate it as part of our healing process? Because sometimes there's so many suggestions, but a simple one. I love the ones that you mentioned. Just, like I thought I was kind of crazy doing stretches when I brush my teeth. I've just put my my leg on the counter. My daughter's like, "What are you doing?" But you can do stretches with your leg. It's
I'm
almost
not
like a
that
little split.
flexible. I'm not flexible, so I'll do squats or something else.
But you're actually doing this, and you're like leaning. And I just started it one day, and now it's my routine. But is there something that people who are, I mean, I was so resistant to exercising, and my 24-year-old is, Mom, just do this 5-minute ab workout. I'm still hurting. It was 2 days ago, and she goes, well, but it's only 5 minutes. And I said, but it hurts to even laugh. Yeah, that means your abs had a workout. Women who are still resistant, because we don't like to be in pain. We're already tired. Anything that can help us motivate, us to do what's right. Because sometimes it's just, I don't know, not in our DNA, or we just are too tired to do what we need to. What do you tell yourself? Is it like something we can tell ourselves?
Sometimes it comes down to brute discipline, right? And looking at the future and what do I want for myself. But one of the exercises I ask my women to do is just to take a piece of paper and just fold it down the middle. And on the left, there's the left and the right. And on the left side, I encourage them to really pay attention to what they love.
Mm.
All their senses, what do I love to smell? What people, places, and things just fill me up. The breeze, the weather, the music that I like, all the beautiful things. And then on the other side, on the right side, all those things that really suck the life out of me, that drain me, this sense of using all our senses and really paying attention. Who are those people that suck the life out of me? Where are those places that I have to go that are draining? And just to really pay attention and to get in the driver's seat of your life, not be in the passenger seat or the back seat or, God forbid, the trunk,
Right.
And to think about, I get to a certain degree, create my life. And I want to create my life with more of those experiences on the left side. And how do I do that? And who are those people? And where can I go to? And sometimes it's just, you just need to be brave and ask people and connect with people. If there's something you need, or you're just curious, living our life with curiosity, and just a sense of adventure and what would it be like, and start paying more attention to creating a beautiful life that's fulfilling and not one that's going to shoot us to death, and not what those people have placed on us, but just to really own our life, give ourselves permission to live on the left side of the page and create a life that's just wonderful.
I love that. And it's such a simple exercise, but it opens our world to hope, because sometimes I think we feel imprisoned and we don't even realize that we have the key, and we can open the door and actually, yeah, but I don't know if it's like brainwash, that the shoulds. I like how you said that. The shoulds rule our lives. And if we can empower and, it's like you said, join a tribe or just reach out to a friend or a podcast, it'll be the start of.
And just I would want to say around people,
Yeah.
people.
Safe, exactly. Safe people.
Are not critical, that are accepting, that are loving, that are gonna celebrate you, that are gonna, what can I do to help you create the life that you want to be? Not someone who's critical or judgmental or think your idea is dumb or really wants something out of you, so they discourage you from doing your own thing because no, I want you to be available for me. Safe people. Yes.
Yeah, because I think we don't even realize that we should ask that question. We just go to those people, and those people do suck the life out of us, but they've always been there. They're our best friends for decades. And it becomes your go-to.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, this is really enlightening. I know you're busy. I just thank you so much, Amelia, for your time. I think we hit all the questions, and it's been very, very empowering and enlightening. So I hope you enjoy your Friday, and such an inspiration.
Blessings to all of you and all the listeners.
Thank you.
Remember,
so
you
much.
are the most important and impactful and influential woman in your child's life. So
definitely. Yeah, we just have to. Yeah. I love
Take
that.
good care of yourself.
Thank you. Okay, take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.